Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm talking about Redman. Yeah, the 3-volume comics of Redman, done by Matt Frank with colors by Gonzalo Lopez. Matt Frank, um, obviously an artist that I'm inspired by, and I finally got the chance to just sit down and read through all 3 volumes. I initially read Volume 1 a while back ago, and it took me a while to read the other 2 volumes, and this one right here was the last printing of Volume 3 that the publisher Night Shining has done. Unfortunately, these, Volumes 1 and 2 shouldn't be too hard to find. However, Volume 3, it was difficult to find, and I was able to snag off the last printing when they did that last year. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I finally sat down and read through all of them, and I know the title of this video probably says the best Ultraman comic out there? Question mark. Yeah, I know it's a little bit clickbait, but I think there's some truth to it. Granted, I haven't read a lot of Ultraman comics, as in I haven't read through a lot of the Ultraman manga that's just only out there in Japan. The only manga I've read is the I don't know if you can see it right there, the recent the 2012 manga that's been ongoing, and I've also read the Marvel Ultraman comics. I don't have a physical copy on me. Hopefully I can get one of those soon, but I have them digitally. But even though Redman is not Ultraman, the reason why I'm saying it might be one of the best Ultraman comics out there is just I think this comic has really captured the feeling of Ultraman, and the feeling and creativity of Ultraman that is not necessarily present in the comics. Don't get me wrong, I love the manga, and while I have my issues with the Marvel comics, which I may do a video about in the future, I still think they are, high quality comics for the most part. But no, when it comes to matching the sheer creativity and imagination of the Ultraman series, I think this comic run does that. Matt Frank is obviously a huge kaiju and tokusatsu fan. I mean, he's done Godzilla Rulers of Earth. He's done a lot of other work in the Godzilla comics. Recently, he's done Godzilla Rivals one-shot with Space Godzilla, which was really good. I have that digitally. He's also done Spectreman Heroes, which I should also do a video about if I haven't done already. I don't know. But, yeah, it's just there's a lot of creativity and love for not just Ultraman, but for Subaraya Productions and for Redman Show. In fact, a lot of the fights are just representative of fights that happen in the series. Now, I will confess, I haven't watched a lot of Redman. I don't have much experience with Redman. I've seen a couple of the shorts on YouTube. At the original Redman series, it's a series of short episodes of pretty much just Redman fighting kaiju. There's not really a story or anything, but what I really love is how this stays true to the original shorts, but gives flesh things out, fleshes out Redman's character, or fleshes out the setting a bit more, and all with very little dialogue, because Redman doesn't talk. The kaiju obviously don't talk. There is a little dialogue, there's some dialogue sprinkled in, but for the most part, it's a very visually storytelling read. So yeah, it's a very fast read, obviously, because, let me just pull up a page, just a random page right here. There's, just names of the monsters right here, but that's pretty much the story. The comic. Let's see. Yeah. You can see some boxes of dialogue right here, But like that's another thing. It was just a very visually engaging story. Like one very being told visually, which I really enjoyed. I think that's what really makes me love this comic. Like as a comic, I love how much it relies on the visual storytelling, and the dialogue only serving really the mystery of this setting, the mystery of this world. Um, I do like how Matt made, you know, like Redman as a quote unquote hero. Like they put hero in quotations mark. I mean, it, it, Redman's character, he's not an outright villain. He's anti villain or anti hero. Like what we get in Redman in this comic is a very tragic character because if you read or see between the lines because you're not really reading, um, you get to see that Redman's planet was destroyed, or if you just know who Redman is, Redman's planet is destroyed, and in this setting, it's more like Redman's in hell. Like he's in this hellscape having to constantly fight through kaiju. He's a very mentally unstable character fighting, trying to survive. But he's very, very aggressive, not very kind. He's a kaiju hunter for a reason. But what I also really like is how the comic starts off pretty episodic and then delves into a bit more of serialization as it goes on. That's really another favorite aspect of mine. I love how this comic also gets into the weird, the horror, and also is not afraid to have a bit of comedy. Like in the first volume, there's this great like episode of Kanagan, which references the Kanagan suit used in the original Redman shorts. And that's like sort of this Groundhog's Day type of episode, which is pretty tragic because of how Kanagan ends up as a shell of its former self, and it's like, oh, damn. But then you get an episode with Black King and Dokkan trying to come up with a plan to defeat Red King. Sorry, not Red King, Redman. And that was pretty humorous. So I really love how they balance the tones with those, and it reminds me of, episodic stories of Ultraman, like the episodic shows of Ultraman, where he will like have like some episodes that go into some weird, some more dark and serious tones, but also having some more lighthearted and comedic episodes. One of my favorite episodes also is in Volume 2, where we get to learn more about the mystery. And that's like, Matt did a really good job with the unsettling feeling and then getting in with like this really creative fight. And I'm not going to spoil it because I think you should, if you can, go out and find a way to read these, please do. It's great. But it's like that one reminded me similar to like, it's like kind of like the Akio Jisoji episode of an Ultraman series where this one's like the out there but very creative episode. And that was like what this episode was in Volume 2. And if you read Redman, you might know what I'm talking about. I know I'm being very rambly and just sporadic. I'm going this very off scripted. But no, I really like this comic run. I think it's my favorite Ultraman comic out there. I think it's the one that really captures the feeling of Ultraman as a series, as a creative project. And also, again, it shows a lot of love to not just Ultraman, but to Redman, to other Subaraya properties like Mirror Man. Just, there was a lot of research and love put into this comic that's a spinoff of an obscure, mostly obscure 1970s series of short episodes that didn't have much substance to them. So how this comic really elevates that series was really good, really well done. And it might also be honestly one of my favorite works of Matt Frank has ever done, just because again, the story is told really well, like just visually. I just really love how this comic was able to just tell a lot of the story visually. And there's also just some very great, just art, in the comic as well. Um, my only criticism is of this comic is that it does end on a cliffhanger, and I'm not sure if there's going to be a part two. I know they said in the comic, that hey, this is just part one, and there's, Matt like leaves a note at the end saying, hey, I'm just going to take a break, but I have ideas for, a couple more volumes. But these comics came out back like 5 years ago, and again, volume three did their last printing, so it's hard to tell if they're really going to do anything more. And it's a shame, that was a big cliffhanger. Um, but other than that, it's a fantastic read, a very short read, obviously, because again, you're not really reading. It's just there's a lot of art though. But again, very fantastic art, and also colors by. Sorry, I'm not familiar with this artist, so by name, but so I have to read it. Gonzalo Lopez. Sorry if I mispronounce the name. The colors in this book are also really fantastic. Just overall, a very fantastic read. Highly recommended. And I really hope we get to see more Ultraman comics similar to the vein of Redman. I'm not sure how how likely that is with Marvel, having the Ultraman license, but I don't know if they have exclusive license. I don't know the deal is with that. But I would like to see more Ultraman comics in the style of Redman. But yeah, please go check out Redman if you can. Highly recommend it. And obviously, check out Matt Frank. I mean, if you don't know who Matt Frank is and you somehow stumble upon this video, I don't know how that happened, because Matt Frank's way more popular than me. But yeah, I'm going to just keep rambling if I don't shut up right now. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care and shwatch.